Throughout history, there have been disappearances so bizarre, so unexplainable that they have left humanity perplexed, questioning the very nature of reality. These vanishings have not only mystified experts, but they have also sparked endless theories, from the plausible to the absurd. Yet, despite the countless investigations, some of these disappearances remain unsolved, lurking in the shadows of our collective memory. Today, we explore the most mysterious disappearances in history, each one a puzzle that continues to haunt us. The first case that stands out is that of the Lost Colony of Roanoke. In 1587, a group of over 100 English settlers established a colony on Roanoke Island, located in what is now North Carolina. Led by John White, the settlers faced a difficult life, struggling with food shortages and hostility from local Native American tribes. White eventually returned to England for supplies, but when he returned 3 years later, the entire colony had vanished. The only clue left behind was the word Croatoan carved into a post. Despite numerous searches and investigations, no trace of the settlers was ever found. What happened to them? Did they fall victim to an attack, or did they somehow assimilate with nearby Native American tribes? The mystery remains unsolved to this day. Next, we turn to the story of Amelia Earhart, one of the most famous disappearances of the 20th century. In 1937, Earhart, the pioneering American aviator, was attempting to circumnavigate the globe when she disappeared over the Pacific Ocean, along with her navigator, Fred Noonan. Despite extensive search efforts, no wreckage was found, and Earhart was declared lost at sea. Over the decades, various theories have emerged. Some believe she crashed into the ocean and perished. Others suggest she was captured by the Japanese or even lived out her life in hiding. New evidence continues to surface, but the mystery of her disappearance remains one of aviation's greatest enigmas. Then, there's the case of the Mary Celeste, a ship discovered adrift in the Atlantic Ocean in 1872, its crew completely gone. The vessel was fully stocked with food and supplies, and the ship's logbook indicated that everything was normal up until the moment of its abandonment. The crew's sudden disappearance remains one of the most perplexing maritime mysteries in history. Was it a pirate attack? Did the crew fall victim to a natural disaster? Or perhaps they abandoned the ship in fear of an impending disaster? Some speculate that the crew had encountered an unknown danger and fled into the unknown, but whatever the cause, the fate of the Mary Celeste's crew remains one of the greatest unsolved maritime mysteries. Another disappearance that has captivated the world is that of D.B. Cooper. In 1971, a man using the alias Dan Cooper hijacked a commercial airplane, extorted $200,000 in ransom, and then parachuted out of the plane over the rugged terrain of the Pacific Northwest. Despite an extensive manhunt and thousands of leads, Cooper was never found. The case has prompted wild theories, from the idea that Cooper survived the jump and lived out his days under a new identity, to suggestions that the parachute jump was a suicide mission gone wrong. In 1980, a portion of the ransom money was discovered along the Columbia River, but Cooper himself was never located. His identity remains a mystery, and the case continues to fascinate both amateur sleuths and law enforcement alike. Then, there's the strange case of the Sodder children. On Christmas Eve in 1945, a fire broke out in the home of George and Jenny Sodder in Fayetteville, West Virginia. 5 of their 10 children were inside the house, and despite the efforts of their parents to rescue them, the children were presumed dead in the blaze. However, the remains of the children were never found, leading the Sodders to believe their children were not victims of the fire at all, but had been kidnapped beforehand. Over the years, they received mysterious phone calls and reports of the children being seen alive, which only deepened the mystery. What happened to the Sodder children? Did they perish in the fire? or were they taken by an unknown perpetrator? This bizarre case continues to be a source of speculation and intrigue. One of the most chilling and perplexing disappearances in history is the case of the disappearance of the Beaumont children. In 1966, 3 children, Jane, Arna, and Grant Beaumont, vanished without a trace while playing on a beach near Adelaide, Australia. Despite an extensive police investigation and years of searching, no physical evidence or leads have ever surfaced. The case has haunted Australian authorities for decades, with numerous theories suggesting the involvement of a serial killer, a kidnapping gone wrong, or even an abduction by someone they knew. The disappearance of the Beaumont children remains one of the most disturbing unsolved mysteries in Australia's criminal history. In a more recent case, the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 in 2014 shocked the world. The plane, en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, vanished from radar screens without warning. Despite extensive search efforts spanning multiple countries and vast stretches of ocean, the main wreckage of the plane has never been found. Several pieces of debris have washed up on the shores of various islands in the Indian Ocean, leading some experts to believe that the plane crashed somewhere in the ocean, but the exact location remains unknown. Theories abound, with some suggesting mechanical failure, a hijacking, or even deliberate actions by the crew. The tragic fate of Flight MH370 is one of the most puzzling aviation mysteries in modern history. Lastly, one of the most haunting disappearances involves the vanishing of the Hinterkaifeck family. In 1922, a family of 6, parents, children, and their maid, were found brutally murdered on their isolated farmstead in Germany. The investigation revealed that the murders had taken place sometime before the bodies were discovered, and yet, strangely, there were no signs of a break-in, nor was any evidence found to explain the crime. What's even more bizarre is that, for several days after the killings, the killer, or killers, seemed to remain on the property. Neighbors reported hearing strange noises, and food appeared to be eaten in the house, suggesting that someone was hiding in the attic or basement. Despite numerous investigations, the identity of the murderer remains unknown, and the disappearance of the Hinterkaifeck family continues to be a chilling enigma. These disappearances, each one a tragedy in its own right, remind us of the dark side of human history, where the unexplained still holds sway. While many of these cases have been researched endlessly, the truth remains elusive. Some are thought to be solved, others may never be, but one thing is certain: the mystery of these vanishings continues to captivate and haunt us, even today. Perhaps one day the answers will emerge, or perhaps, as with so many other mysteries in history, the truth will forever remain hidden.